Oh, hi everybody. How are you doing today? Yes, hi everyone. I'm Byron, and this is Chirp. Hello. Today, we are going to be starting our second literature unit. Huh? But I didn't even see the first one yet. That's because you were not there, Chirp. We are having a daily schedule of where Mango is in the first unit with me, and you are in the second unit with me. So, a different character will always be with me the more units we go over. So for Unit 3, it'll be me and another character, and so is Unit 4. So we're going to keep going on this. Mango couldn't come in today. She was sick, but I'm sure she'll be alright. I think she's just allergic to pollen. Doctor! Oh yeah, there's very high pollen in the air tonight. Well done, Byron. Yes, guys, make sure to, what was the word again? Okay, let me help you. Oh, thank you, Chirp. Be sure to check that you do not have any allergies before you go outside. Because if you have allergies while outside, that could be very harmful for your body. So make sure you're not allergic to pollen before you go outside. Otherwise, if you are, then just stay inside. But just play outside sparingly so that you don't get a lot of pollen anywhere. Okay, we are starting our second literature unit. And don't worry, Chirp. I will guide you through the first unit. But right now, we need to do our second unit for today. It's called Take Control. Wow, those are two very great words. Yes, to take and to control. There is an essential question at the beginning of every unit, Chirp, that we have to answer. How do actions define us? That's a big question. Wow, even I can't answer that. Yeah, and I can't answer that too. But we can find out a possible answer or hypothesis to the question by just reading some stories and answering smaller questions or assessments. Excuse me. Byron, don't belch. Sorry. Yes, 7th graders, manners. We have to talk about manners. Do not belch. That's what you did. Oh, silly me. I guess I should learn too. All right. Wow, look at this woman, Chirp. She's balancing beautifully. Is that a robot leg? Yes. She can still balance, but there's a robot leg. How is she doing that? Oh, you know, the balancing only requires her hands and not her feet. So she just spreads her feet out high and her robot leg. How did she even get the robot leg? The leg was probably amputated. Oh, okay. Gross. The most effective way to do it is to do it. Amelia Earhart. So there's also a quote at the beginning of our unit, Chirp. And our quote can take us, but not directly, to the possible answer to our essential question, which is what we're going to answer by the end of our unit. Then there is an image analyze. How much can be overcome by taking control? Let's look at this woman here. So, her leg is amputated, but she still can balance. She is doing the best that she could to take part, or control, as I should say, in the best balancing act. So, how much can be overcome by taking control, Chirp? You know the answer? Why, I think I do. How much can be overcome by taking control is how much you can do. That's correct, Chirp. How much you can do determines what can be overcome by taking control. Sorry, not overdone, overcome. That's okay. Just like Mango said in Unit 1, do not worry if you sound like a baby reading. You're just learning to read. But that is only half of the battle. What? Yes, Chirp. And honestly, I got taught this in 9th or 8th grade. probably 8th grade, as early as that. Not only do you have to learn to read, but you also have to read to learn. Wow, really? Yes, a lot of reading is going to be in your life. A lot of letters are going to appear, a lot of words, a lot of sentences, a lot of punctuation marks, and even errors you have to fix. So, let's get to it, shall we? So, Chirp, I know you did not read this book before, and I know we're skipping ahead one unit, but, I will show you the first unit later. Right now, I will just show you the beginning of our second unit to make you become more interested. Spark your learning. Here's a chance to spark your learning about ideas in Unit 2. Take control. Make the connection. When was the last time you had to take control of a problem? Sketch or write a few lines to explain how you handled the situation. So, Chirp, this is the Spark Your Learning, the thing we always do at the beginning of a unit before we start reading any stories. And we usually only read the first 2. Ooh, there's something new. Heartbeat, a short story by David Yu, and The Flight of Icarus, myth retold by Sally Benson. Why? That's very cool. Okay, so, Chirp, we're going to take this marker, and we're going to make connections by writing the last time you had to take control of a problem. So when was the last time you did that? Did you react quickly or take a series of steps? We are not doing the writing lines today. We are just writing the situation. So, let's skip that last line. So, marker, can't open it. There we go. Alright, we're going to skip the sketching or writing lines for today because I think that's too hard. Instead, we are going to draw the scenario of our problem. So, Chirp, when was the last time you had to take control of a problem? Did you react quickly or take a series of steps? Well, I remember doing a math problem on my homework. Okay, let's write that down. 2F plus E equals 5. And what did you do to solve the problem, Chirp? Did you rush through it or take a series of steps? I think I was a bit worried, so I think I rushed through it. Okay. All right. I reacted quickly. And that's okay, but you should not rush in life. There are no redos. There are no take tests again in life. Life just keeps going on and on and on forever in all directions. So there's no choice but to just go with the flow and see where it takes you. There are no redos in life. So, there's no rushing in life either. But sometimes there are times to rush. But rushing is not always good. In fact, it could be bad. 2 times F plus E equals 5 can be a very difficult problem to solve. We're not in math, so we're not going to solve that. Don't worry, 7th graders. This is not what you're going to do for today, the distributive property. I think you will learn that later, like later in the earlier semester in 7th grade. The first semester, probably in like a couple days later, or even a couple months from now. So, you should not be learning this now, because that would make you overwhelmed. So, that's a very hard problem. Now we think about the essential question. How do actions define us? What comes to mind when you think about this question? So, Chirp, what comes to mind when you think about actions defining people? Well, obviously, first off, the actions. Okay. Actions. And what's one last thing you think about? People. Okay, let's write people. So yeah, it could be extremely important just to write general or vague things. That can really be the most powerful thing to help you understand an essential question. It does not have to be acrobatics or actions that are not melancholy. It could just be very vague words like actions and people that can help you relate to the question. And now, Chirp, I think you will get excited. These are vocabulary words. Oh my goodness, these are big ones. Yes, Chirp, they are very hard to understand, but sooner or later we can understand some of them, or one of them. So, let's read the words as follows: aspect, cultural, evaluate, resource, and text. Chirp, do you know what the word aspect means? No. That's okay, Chirp. Like Mango said, you could just look up the word if you don't know it. Although that might sound like cheating, that is actually not cheating at all. In fact, some assignments even require you to look up words. Really? Yes, really. Even ninth graders do that all the time. Because, honestly, reading from the book can be good because you're finding textual evidence. But even just searching up the words in general can really help you understand the words, because you do not only remember 50% of what you write, but you also remember 10 or 20% of what you know. Kind of. But not that low. So, yep, the percentages vary. That can total for up to 100%. Alright, cultural. Do you know what cultural means? I think you should know what cultural means. Oh, yes, very easy for me. Cultural means culture? Right, it could just be the word itself, but worded differently. So cultural is something to do with culture. You're right, Chirp. So, we do not know aspect, but we do know cultural. Evaluate. Oh, that's a very tough word, but I think I know it. Do you know it? I think so. To evaluate means to solve or break down. That's correct. Evaluate means to solve a problem or break down something. So, yep, evaluate. Just like an experiment, the last step is the evaluation. Did the experiment go well for both of the people or more of the people, if there are more than two? Did the experiment go well? We're not in biology, but I'm just saying an example. Sorry, sniffles. Dogs always get the sniffles. So, anyways, resource. I think this is a very, very easy word to understand. Do you know it? Yes. A resource is kind of like, something you can use to study or make up of. That's right. A resource can help you know something better. That is correct. A resource, yes. And text. I think we should all know text. But, do you ever text on your phone, guys? It's just like the vocabulary word. Text is the same thing, except it means something else different. It does not only mean to type, but, Chirp, can you tell the other meaning of text? Yes. Text is just also the thing that you type in general. That's correct. Text is just sentences in a paragraph or similar grammatical format. So, yep, you are correct, Chirp. So the only word that we do not know is aspect. But don't worry, we will come back to that word so that we can understand it better. Those words are very hard to understand. Now is the time we're going to preview texts. Look over the images, titles, and descriptions of the texts in the unit. Mark the title of the selection that interests you most. We do not mark titles in here, no. We are going to skip that. For now, we'll just choose Heartbeat and The Flight of Icarus. I think I need to pronounce that correctly. And then, the last thing we do before we read a story is I wonder. What sorts of situations cause people to rise up, to take control? We are not jotting down. We are just writing one-word answers for situations. But be careful, beware. One-word answers are not always good in assignments. In fact, you should have a lot more words, if not even 2 words, to an answer. Perhaps 1 word answers. They could be good, but they can sometimes be bad in life. But for this one, that's okay because we're just listing situations. All right. What sorts of situations cause people to rise up to take control? Chirp. Well, when a kid is kidnapped, correct? Kidnapping. People really want to save a lot of children in this world. They need to rise up to take control and stop the cheeky people from kidnapping the kids. So, yep, you're right. Kidnapping is one. Can you list me another? Okay. Let's see. Floods. Okay, yeah, floods. Floods are very severe, guys. Floods can make it very hard to travel. But for some reason, it can make it extremely easy to email. Well, not to email, but just to text. Because you're not out of internet when a flood is out. Because it does not touch the power lines. So you're good. All right, there is one more situation. There are a lot more, but all we need is just one more. So, sure, can you list one more situation onto which we need help and rise up to take control? Yes. Saving endangered species, perhaps? That is totally right. Endangerment. Yes, endangered species. Scientists are working hard to save endangered species. You are absolutely right. All right. Some endangered species include the common tiger, the pygmy hippopotamus, and even the Amazon river dolphin. Something that is endangered faces a very high risk of extinction in the wild. What? No! Yes, that's right. So that's why that's also an important action, because it makes scientists rise up to save endangered species. So, kidnapping, floods, and endangered species are 3 situations onto which people can solve. So, yep, now is the fun part. We're going to read the story. Hooray! All right, let's turn to the pages. Now, there are more words over here. Let's read the words. Metabolism, moot, futile, and delirious. Those are kind of hard to pronounce. Yeah, Chirp. Metabolism. That word looks familiar. Do you know what it means? I think so. Is a metabolism like... It's like a body system? That's correct. It's kind of like a body system. But not certainly. You're getting close, though. Good job, Chirp. Moot. Oh boy. This word may be easy to pronounce, but even the easiest to pronounce words may be difficult to understand. Do you know what moot means? No. Okay, but we just leave that checkbox blank. Futile. I don't think we learned that word, so we're gonna leave that blank. Yeah, I don't know the word. Okay, good job. You should not learn that. And delirious. Delirious sounds familiar. I think I've heard it before. Do you know what it means? Yeah. Doesn't it kind of mean like, not certainly, but of or related to seizures? Kind of like very wonky and stuff? That's right. Or disordered. Good job, Chirp. Delirious. Yes. But that was not totally right. That is actually delusion, but good job, Chirp. Delirious can also mean that. So we don't know moot, futile, and aspect. These are very hard words. Now, as always, we're going to read the story. Heartbeat, a short story by David Yu. Wow. For Dave, appearing fit is an extreme exercise. Exercise! I know what exercise is. No, Chirp, it's not a vocabulary word. We're just going through it. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Always come prepared. So, let's read the story. My nickname's Heartbeat because my friends swear that you can actually see the pulse on my bare chest. I've always been skinny. Everyone assumes I'm a weakling because I'm so thin. I prefer lean and mean or wiry. Despite being a free-sport athlete, I decided to do something about it this fall when Sarah, the girl I have a crush on, ooh, sorry, we'll never do that again, said, "Oh my gosh, you're so skinny." Okay, what does this tell you? So, we take notes usually, but there are no notes at the top. So we'll just annotate for today. We are going to skip the inference. Don't worry about that. Okay, annotate. In paragraph 1, mark 3 things that Dave says other people say to him or think about him. So let's see. What do people call him? Heartbeat? That's right. But why do they call him Heartbeat? Because they thought they could actually see the pulse on his bare chest? That's right. We need to know what they've been calling him, though. Okay, a weakling, because I'm so thin. Yes, lean, mean, or wiry, despite being a free-sport athlete. That is very ironic. There's also one more sentence I kind of liked. I think I mentioned it before with an whoop, but it's after this sentence. Can you guess what it is? Oh yeah, the girl situation. That's right, Chirp. Even the girl calls him skinny. So, people call him skinny, thin, lean, mean, or wiry. Wait, no. People call him skinny, thin, and weak. Yes. Lean, mean, and wiry is just his preferences. Sorry, my mistake. We make mistakes a lot in literature, and that's okay. So, appearing fit is an extreme exercise. Yes, appearing fit is very hard, but it's not impossible. It just takes practice. So, yep. What does annotating mean? Great question. I was just about to come to that. Excuse me, sorry. To annotate is to underline something that can help us better understand the story. So, we usually read one more paragraph, then do an assessment. Alright, let's read this sentence. I have a ridiculously fast metabolism. Wait a second. We have seen metabolism before. Let's turn back to metabolism. We checked that one off. Let's read the definition. So, a metabolism is a living thing's chemical process that gives it energy and produces growth. So you're right, Chirp. Yes, you're right. All right. We are going to do one more annotation, then we'll head on to the assessment. But first, we need to read. I returned to school in January depressed because I was still Heartbeat in everyone's eyes. I constantly weighed myself. At least once an hour, no matter where I was. I'd find a bathroom so I could take off my shirt and flex in the mirror for a couple minutes. Okay, so what does this tell you about quote-unquote heartbeat? What does this tell you for quote-unquote heartbeat? That, people have been bullying him and he doesn't think his body looks that great anymore? Correct. Yes, he doesn't think his body is great anymore. Remember the shirt situation. Some people take off their shirts to find out their weight. So, being fit, yes, taking off shirts can help you figure out your weight, but it's pretty disgusting. It's disgusting, so it's not always the best bet for success. And flex in the mirror for a couple minutes. That's how we can tell. In paragraph 2, mark Dave's motivation for exercising. So, let's see. Have you been working out, Dave? You look bigger. Sarah said the magic words. So, I think Sarah was the only one that's being nice to him. I think I know. I think he has to work out in order to get motivated. But that was not only the reason why. Felt like I was reborn. Stumbled on the simplest solution to look bigger. futilely stuffing my face, and religiously pumping iron, and failing to alter my appearance. And now, like, I was reborn. So, like, he did not know how his body looked. So it looks like he was reborn all over again, like a baby. Think about a baby. A baby does not know his or her body right away. But surprisingly, neither does Dave. It looks like he's a baby all over again. So, yep. But we need to think about the motivation. How is Dave motivated? Let's see. Let's read these texts. I realized I had artificially outgrown my clothes. My button-downs were so tight that a few seconds after jamming the extra layers into my pants, the pressure would suddenly bunch the cloth up into random places, so it looked like I had a goiter on my shoulder or something. Goiter. Let's look at goiter. Goiter is a thyroid gland often visible at the bottom of the neck. So, yep, there are also words down here. Didn't talk about it in the first unit, but you see what I mean. Alright. I have to go, I said, excusing myself to another corner of the basement. Everyone was smushed together. It was so hot, everyone except me was hanging out in t-shirts and tank tops. So, yep, let's see. She felt safer around me. Wait a second. Maybe we can annotate those. It was respect that Sarah gave him. He had never seen her before, and she felt safer around him. So I think that is how he is doing it. But we need it from paragraph 2. So, supplementing meals can be very important with weight gainer shakes, egg whites, boned yams, and tubs of cottage cheese. So, wasn't able to increase my mass. Well, that could be one, but it's not very cool. Like ping pong and staircase. Like a sieve, the 83 calories in a mini Snickers, because I waste 90 chewing it. So, yep, these are annotations to let you know how he can get motivated. So, yep. Alright, let's do the assessment. What is that? That's the assessment chirp. The assessment practice shows you what you've already known about the story. So, the directions are to answer these questions before moving on to the Analyze the Text section on the following page. We're not going to do the Analyze the Text. Don't worry. This question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then part B. Sometimes it's a 2-part question, chirp. You need to answer one part first, then the other part next. Oh, I get it now. Alright. Question 1. Part A. What do Dave's actions in the story suggest? Select the best answer. A. He wants quick results in spite of his natural thinness. He is disciplined and determined to reach his goal. He is strong and healthy, but not very athletic. Or he cares about his health as much as his image. So, I don't think it's C. He is very athletic, but he is not sure about his body. So it's not C. We're doing the process of elimination, sure. We're crossing out 2 answers that don't make sense. So far we got 1. He wants quick results in spite of his natural thinness. I don't know. Not A. We come down to 2 possible situations, B or D. He cares about his health as much as his image, or he is disciplined and determined to reach his goal. So, let's rephrase the question or answer by borrowing this from the question. Dave's actions in the story suggest that he cares about his health as much as his image, or Dave's actions in the story suggest that he is disciplined and determined to reach his goal. So, let's see. Okay, this is very difficult. But I don't think it's D. Yes, he may have been concerned with his body, but I don't think something unhealthy is going on. So it's B. He is disciplined and determined to reach his goal. So he does not think he can do it, but at the same time he does. Disciplined and determined are 2 completely different words. So, B. Part B. Select 2 sentences that support the answer to part A. So sometimes, Chirp, questions will require you to shade for more than one answer. Alright. For the rest of fall, I did countless push-ups and curled free weights until I couldn't bend my arms. I don't know. I'd find a bathroom so I could take off my shirt and flex in the mirror for a couple of minutes. No, that would be if I circled D, so it's not B. I couldn't even feel her squeezing them. No, not C. My button-downs were so tight, it looked like I had a goiter on my shoulder or something. Let's see. Nope. I've always been skinny. No. So, let's see. I think it is. Let's see. It is. It is A and... we come down to 4 very hard situations. Okay. We do not give up. A 7th grader never gives up. So, let's see. Select 2 sentences that supports this. He is disciplined and determined to reach his goal because for the rest of fall, he did countless push-ups and curled free weights until he couldn't bend his arms. So that could be 1. All right. He's disciplined and determined to do this because his button-downs were so tight it looked like he had a goiter on his shoulder or something? Or is it because he's always been skinny? I don't think it's D or E. I don't think that would help him move along. B or C? I think it's B. A and B. C does not make any sense. And E is not even talking about our part A answer. And answer D, well, that is not right. So it's A and B. Yes, A and B. So it's B for part A and B for part B. So, yep, Chirp. Wow, very cool, Byron. How do you do that? Oh, yeah, process of elimination. Silly me. Yes, you're right. So, now we'll read the next story. And the next story, we'll never know what it might bring. Okay. We have a lot of other words here. Moderate, pro-West, frantic, and anxiety. Okay, I'm gonna check the boxes of the words we know. Moderate means, kind of in the middle or kind of severe. Frantic means very panicky or very dramatic. And anxiety is a feeling that teens get when very stressed about something. Do you know pro-West? I don't think so. Okay. Pro-West is a very difficult word. The flight of Icarus? I can't pronounce that. Myth retold by Sally Benson. A daring escape goes way too far. I think that could go way too far ahead. So, let's see. Let's read the story. When Theseus escaped from the labyrinth, King Minos flew into a rage with its builder, Daedalus, and ordered him shut up in a high tower that faced the lonely sea. In time, with the help of his young son Icarus, Daedalus managed to escape from the tower, only to find himself a prisoner on the island. Okay, let's look at the annotate. Mark the detail in paragraphs 1 to 2 that states the problem Daedalus and Icarus face. So, let's see. They are having trouble escaping from the tower. So, it's already underlined, but you can see here. They are trying to escape from the tower, only to find themselves in a prison on the island. So, yep. So, escape goes way too far. That's an example. Alright. How do you think Daedalus plans to solve the problem? And why do you think so? Daedalus was an indigenous artist and was not discouraged by his failures. Minos may control the land and sea, he said, but he does not control the air. I will try that way. So, let's see. They were trying to escape the tower, but they only found the prisoner. So, I think it's safe to say that he will fly out because of this. So, I know this sounds pretty peculiar. Humans don't fly. But the idea that escaping kind of sounds like flying is kind of the reason why. So he will just pretty much fly out. It's the only way to kind of escape this here. Alright, one more, and then we will do the answers. Daedalus, crazed by anxiety, called back to him. Icarus, my son, where are you? At last he saw the feathers floating from the sky until his son plunged through the clouds into the sea. Wait a minute. I think they're birds. What? Why? You said they were humans. No, Chirp, but look. He saw the feathers. Feathers are a reminder that they are pretty much like birds. Yes, I think they're birds. Yes, that's why they fly away. Okay. That could be very good. Alright, let's answer these. And then that's it for us today. Select the sentence that supports the idea that Icarus loves to fly. Okay. Let's read these. The sun shone on the bright feathers, the breezes ruffled them. I don't think it's A, do you? No, not in any way. As thousands of gulls soared over the island, Icarus soon collected a huge pile of feathers. No, not B. So it comes down to two situations, C or D. He made him watch the movements of the birds, how they soared and glided overhead, or Icarus beating his wings in joy felt the thrill of the cool wind on his face and the clear air above and below him. I don't think it's C. That doesn't make sense. So, it is D. The reason why Icarus loves to fly is because he beats his wings in joy, and he feels the thrill of air. Wow, very cool. Can I answer one? Of course, Chirp. Alright, what is the central theme of the story? Only true heroes can perform superhuman acts? I don't think so, do you? No, not really. A lot of people can do a lot of cool acts, so it's not A. Let's look at B. People must know their place in the universe? Well, people must do, but I don't think it's B. That doesn't make sense. Okay, two situations, C or D. Being able to live in freedom is worth any cost, or spending time with family members is important. So let's see. The birds are a family. Being able to live in freedom is worth any cost? Well, it's not always worth a cost, so I don't think it's C. I think it's D. Spending time with family members is important, because Icarus was happily flying, and, Daedalus was like, Icarus, where are you? Showing that he cares about Icarus. He wants to see where Icarus is so that he can protect him. It's relating to family. Spending time with family members is important. How does the author develop the theme in Part A? By describing Daedalus' joy at seeing his son fly? No, I don't think so. Yes, it's not A. Well done. By detailing how Daedalus created the wings? Can birds create wings, guys? No, of course not. Birds cannot create wings. It's definitely not B. So now, C and D. By noting Daedalus' concerns about Icarus, or by highlighting Icarus' playfulness. So D is related, but I don't think it's D. I think it's C. Daedalus did not know where Icarus was, so he was kind of concerned for Icarus. C is kind of a similar sentence, so I think it is C. D, D, and C. D, D, C. In other words, you should have gotten D, D, and C for those ones. Alright, that is it for us today, but, we will answer the essential question in our other video. So, stay tuned. Don't worry. It's daily. It's a daily schedule. So don't worry. We will get to the next units later. Bye, everyone! Bye! Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. First unit. Okay. First, intro to literature.